Good morning, friends. First off, if you're seeing this video, this is my only YouTube channel, E3U. Right? Christopher at Christopher Hauser 3647E3U. The scammer's got a very similar number or address. The only difference is these last three, the E3U. I think he's like E2U or something like that. So, got a bit of a sinus issue going on here this morning. It's 7:30 in the morning, and this is Wednesday morning. This Saturday at 2:30 at 148 Pine Street in Newport, Tennessee. 148 Pine Street, Newport, Tennessee. At 2:30, we are having a celebration of life and a military honors. If you've never seen that, you're more than welcome. Anybody listening to this video who's in the vicinity would like to come and attend. Most of all, I could naturally assume you never knew Ron, but if you knew his paperwork, you knew Ron. If you knew a lot of information that I passed on to you, then you knew Ron. Ron was, the scripture says, Jesus said, don't call any man good, only the Father's good. So I would call Ron great. Ron was a great man. In my eyes and the eyes of many others. And oftentimes when you're in what we're into, what we're involved in, you get shunned by your family and your friends. So we lose a lot of connection and respect from those that should have meant the most to us. And Ron sacrificed a lot. We all did. Ron sacrificed a lot. His mother passed away of cancer while he was in jail. So he wasn't there for that. My grandmother, 97 years old, passed away while I was incarcerated. We didn't get that. We didn't get to go see them or, pay the last respects. It's a sacrifice we all make. And people would think, if I hadn't met Ron, I'd have never met Gary. If I hadn't met Gary, I wouldn't have got as deeply involved in this conditional acceptance thing and done what we did. Most people would say, oh, you went to prison for 3 years. Was it worth it? Yes, it was. It was worth it. It was worth every hour, every minute of every day. As veterans, and 9 of the 10 of us were veterans. 4 of us were combat veterans. Most of us had no record at all until this travesty of injustice happened to us. But we were afforded the opportunity to serve our country and our government in the military. Only 1% of the nation does that. Very few even get to go serve in combat. And we did that. And we also served again. This thing that we're doing is a service, but this time instead of to a corporate government, we're actually serving the people, we the people, and doing the things that we did. So I'm very honored to have done the things that I did with this this thing that we're involved in. Ron was an essential part of all of that, and we were close. we were closer than brothers. And I miss him, man. I think about him every day. He'll be missed. He will be. But we're doing a celebration of life, 148 Pine Street, Newport, Tennessee. Anyone watching this video between now and this Saturday the 21st, February the 21st of 2016, that's this Saturday, we're doing that at 2:30. I probably said it a little bit too much, but I want y'all to know that y'all are welcome. If you knew me, then you knew Ron in a roundabout kind of way. So y'all are welcome to attend. There'll be fellowship and with family and friends. I'm gonna meet his brother. I spoke with him on the phone yesterday. They're coming Friday to check the chapter out, see what it is that they want to do with it. So that's important. Another thing that I wanted to talk about was the 1099-A. A lot of people have said, oh, that shit don't work. Yes, it does. I've talked to hundreds of people that have used the 1099-A. The only thing that I would deviate from the teaching is it's a lot faster if you send it to the IRS in Kansas. That's where a lot of the 1099-As get processed at. I was teaching to send it to the Treasury, to the IRS office at the Treasury. And the reason I did that is because I wanted the Treasury to be directly involved. I think that that's important, but I also think that a lot of those 1099-As got lost in the mix, where they specifically deal with the 1099-As in Kansas. I spoke with one individual in particularly who had 5 years of back taxes wiped out using a 1099-A. He said that he hadn't paid taxes in 18 years, and he got hit. He got hit with 5 years of back taxes. So he was fined or charged that money, and he used the 1099-A process to settle that discrepancy is what I'll call it. So he said, he said, he did it about a year and a half ago, I think. And he said, I was expecting to get some kind of notification from the IRS. And he said about a month ago, he said, I got to looking around. He said, so I went to my IRS account, and there it was, zero balance. The 1099-A is accepted as a means to settle a debt. If you've had problems with it, and I'm sure a bunch of you have, to clear the water somewhat, I would say send it directly to Kansas. So 1099-A, folks, it does work. I know a lot of people with it's bullshit, and then you can go on TikTok and look up 1099-A, and half of the people that are doing videos on TikTok will tell you, it's bullshit. It's not. It actually does work. In a lot of cases, it has worked. And then I'll go on to talk about the UCC1. In our Supreme Court ruling, the Supreme Court of Tennessee declared that a UCC1 financing statement henceforth has value. They have value, and they are working as valuable. So, and this is how that works. The Tennessee Supreme Court declared in our Supreme Court case. I don't have a copy. All my stuff is at the house pertaining to the case. But in our Supreme Court case, if you want the actual number, you can probably go back and look through some videos and you probably find it. If not, message me here on this video and I'll try and share that. Maybe I'll add it to the description, the case number. But anyway, in the Tennessee Supreme Court, they ruled that a UCC1 has an ascertainable value. And by doing so, they made it a negotiable instrument. A 1099-A is a negotiable instrument. A dollar bill is a negotiable instrument. And they're worth whatever you put in the description box. If you put $120 gold pieces in there in the description, then they're $120, $120 gold pieces. It's the value of that, whatever that would be. And then they go to the Federal Reserve banks. The Federal Reserve banks will handle that. And it works. It's worked on 11, counting mine, foreclosures. The mortgage companies are either accepting them for value or they're creating them. Because, see, you got to understand, when you create a UCC1, you're saying that you're the creditor. And whoever you're claiming owes you is the debtor. Those are the fields that you'll fill out. So by saying this, what you're doing is you're saying, this person owes me money, and or whatever of value. The tractors in the description, or 3 milk cows, cattle number blah 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 738 or whatever their tag numbers are. You're putting that in there, and that's what the value of the UCC1 is, or equivalent to. So before the Supreme Court ruling, a UCC1 had no value. It's like a check that isn't filled out. It has no value until it's filled out. It's just a piece of paper. So when you create a UCC1, you're actually creating a negotiable instrument. The back of it can be endorsed, and then it goes to the Federal Reserve banks. There may be a way of doing that directly through your bank, if you can get the bank to understand what it is you're doing. Because through fractional banking, every bank that's FDIC knows how fractional banking works. And that's all between the particular bank and usually whatever Federal Reserve Bank is close by. That's where they send the depositors money. You put $100,000 with cash in the bank, $10,000 is going to stay at the bank, and the other $90,000 is going to go to the Federal Reserve, and it's held for the bank. And fractional banking, if you do the research on it, it is very dry, completely dry. You will fall asleep reading about it. It's so boring. But once you understand how it works, that's how these UCC1s are now working. They didn't work that way. They didn't work that way before, and now they do. Now they work that way. Why? Because Tennessee said A Supreme Court made a ruling that they're worth whatever you say they're worth. It was the only way that they can get us for Class A felony forgery over $250,000 was to say that these things that we were filing, these UCC ones that we were filing, had the value of $250,000 or greater. Ours were $4 million, $12 million. Okay, well, so now they're worth $4 million or $12 million. And so by saying that, when we took the UCC 1s and we created UCC 3s, which is an assignment, we actually took the 1s and created 3s, assigning the 1s to the Treasury, which means the Treasury actually filed the UCC 1s as the negotiable instrument. Well, now Tennessee is saying not only is the conditional acceptance, folks, is the actual lien. Tennessee would like for you to believe that the UCC 1s are the liens, even though their expert witness, the state's expert witness, his name was Burton, I think. He came and testified. He worked for the Secretary of the State's office for Tennessee, handling the division that handles the UCC 1s. And he said they're not. He said that they had no value. All they are is a notice to the public that there's a debt that's owed. That's all he said. He said that. Yet Tennessee said, "Oh no, these things are forged and they're worth $250,000 or greater." Okay, so they are. Run with it, man. The UCC 1s have whatever value you put on them. And dealing in foreclosure, or say you got a credit card company that takes you to court, you could actually go in there and say, "Look, man, I'm not even going to argue this with you. If Capital One says that they owe you money, or you owe them money, okay, Capital One, file a UCC 1. Take it to the Federal Reserve Bank, or take it your financial institution. You could probably send it there yourself and get the money. If that's what you're saying, go get it. With the foreclosure, it's a little different because it's the mortgage company that says you owe them money when you have no contract with the mortgage company. The mortgage company didn't loan you any money. How can I owe you a debt if you never loaned me any money? But okay, let's simplify this whole process. Mortgage company, the 12th mortgage company so far on this loan. If you're claiming that I owe you money, or my estate owes you money, or your dad's estate owes you money, or my dad's estate owes you money, go do a UCC 1. What do I care? Go file a UCC 1, get your money, and send me my freaking title. That's how it's worked, folks, in 11 cases, including mine. My siblings bailed on it. I stuck with it. And this is what I argued in their court, their administrative tribunal. That, hey, if my dad's estate owes you this, go get it. What do I care? Send me my title. And that's what happened. So the UCC 1s have value. The 1099A has value. Get it, man. Go get it. Let's see. And lastly, I've done a lot of research and searching what needs to be done, and this morning I woke up to a screenshot my wife sent me. She checks the Gentry site in Nashville, and it's showing now that the case is closed. And she pulled my particular part of the case up, showing that it was closed. Well, I got on there and I looked again, and I went down to the bottom where Mark McConnell's at. And it's saying that his case is closed. Yet next month on the 26th, he has a discussion hearing. How's that? How's that working out? And so we're done with the state. We're completely done with the state. Although they did send me a bill for $550, which isn't going to get paid. They wanted to say that I owe them the filing fee when I filed for indigent, or not indigent, incompetuous. And they denied that, but in the letter they say that we're denying you this, and then at the bottom of it, the last paragraph, it says that we have to inform you in writing of the reasons. They never did. So I filed a motion. Okay, where's that? Where's the reasons? It's your own letter right here says that you have to notify me in writing why I'm being denied, when the letter just says we're denying you. So, yeah, they're not getting paid either. No, that's not happening. If I do, I'm going to pay them with the UCC1. Hey, here you go. Here you go. Or send them a 1099-A. Send them a 1099-A. Why? Because when you read the directions on a 1099, it says who must file. Who must file a 1099-A? One of them's courts and administrative courts. If I send it to you, you must file it. Okay? How are they not worth something when you can do that? I'm working on the HABE. I almost got it completed. I had to make some modifications. They're saying in the Court of Criminal Appeals, they said that I was practicing law without a license because I was arguing on behalf of Ronald Lyons and Michael Usinger. Well, when I filed it Christopher-Allen Kohlenhauser, beneficiary and sovereign et al. I didn't file it Ronald James Lyons and Michael Usinger. They changed that. They changed it to Christopher Hauser, Michael Usinger, and Ronald Lyons in all caps. That's not what I filed. You practice law without a license. Okay, charge me then. Charge me. Let's argue this. Let's argue this. How am I practicing law without a license when you changed the filing, and I'm arguing for myself, and et al. Is included? Why? Because Tennessee code and Tennessee jurisprudence says you cannot be severed. How else am I supposed to argue it? So, but I'm filing a HABE, and as soon as I finish the HABE and I file it, I'm going to turn around and file all the indications that I've seen so far is you need to file a federal habeas corpus, and instead of a deprivation of rights under color of law, because the deprivation of rights under color of law is a civil suit, where a habeas corpus is a federal criminal issue. So I'm going to file them both. At pretty much the same time, probably. I might file the HABE a month or so before I file the civil suit. But that's where we're at, folks. And once again, this Saturday, February 21st, 148 Pine Street, Newport, Tennessee. 2:30 in the afternoon. We're having a celebration of life and military honors for Ron Lands. Everyone's welcome. Y'all have a blessed day.